Welcome to Modern Fishing with Jared Jeffries. This week on Modern Fishing.
A lot of jigging, a lot of popping.
Jared's headed to one of his favorite places to fish, Venice, Louisiana. Each year he makes the trip to Venice to fish with his good friend and captain, James Peters. And this year's no different.
You got him, you got him?
This time, however, Jared's brought along a few friends and family members to share the action with.
This is probably my 15th, 16th year being down here in Venice, and it's a very unique place. I think that anyone that's been to Venice, actually stayed down here for a little bit of time, can tell you there's nowhere else in the U.S. like it from very different standpoints. I wanted this time to bring down my cousin DeRay, a good buddy of mine, Jimmy, and my dad.
Jared and I are cousins, and over the years we just always have fished mainly back in Indiana together. I fish a lot with his dad also. A lot of just normal freshwater fishing back home.
My cousin DeRay, we grew up together, ran around. He did 3 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq in the Army, and he's a great dude. My dad's kind of like my hero. He's an awesome dude, man. My dad he's a character, great dude, somebody you're gonna love being around, you're gonna love seeing on camera.
We'll get Ahab upstairs here. So we'll go up here and meet James. He's been on the show before. This is his place here in Venice, so let's see what happens.
James Peters. Known James for a while, probably about 14 years now. I just looked up a guy in Venice. I didn't know anything about it. I heard there was good fishing, and we just clicked.
After introductions are made, Jared and the crew gather the gear and get ready to hit it hard the next day.
What are we fishing for, period?
Oh, here? That's the $1 million question.
That's the $1 million question.
So tomorrow, we're gonna throw these baits, and these baits are very heavy. You can probably throw these baits 100 yards, maybe a little bit further. We'll tuna fish. If we don't get them, we'll do American reds, we'll do amberjack, all different kinds of fish tomorrow. One of the great things about Venice is that the fishery here, to me, is one of the best fisheries you can find in mainland USA because of the variety of fish, where you want to go. It's going to be rough tomorrow. It's going to be high winds, big seas, but I got a crew of pirates, so we should be good.
The crew's up before sunrise, although Killa won't be attending this offshore trip. With the forecast being rough seas, he goes with experience and decides to hang back and check out the local Louisiana food and culture while the boys offshore fish.
All right, so we're going to go out here, try to catch a couple fish. The tough part is Killa can't fish offshore.
When I wear my Frey bill.
See, pigeon?
Frey bill. Wouldn't leave home without it. Well, heading out this morning. Bottom line is the fish are out there. We just got to find them. We got a good crew, ready to go catch them. Well, it looks like we finally found the rip line. We're about 55 miles out, and there's not a lot of current in it, but there's tons and tons of flying fish getting up, so hopefully we'll find some dolphin on it. You know, it looks good, and midday it's been picking up the current, you know, so it's been getting a lot better, but looks good thus far, so we're gonna get some lines in and see if we can catch some fish. So we pull up this rip line, we're kind of getting organized, and we get the first teaser out, and the second rod gets out, and all of a sudden, big dolphin piles up on it, starts burning line off, and we picked Jared's cousin DeRay to be the first angler.
Come on, you're on.
Well, he kind of looked like a deer in headlights, but we knew a big boy like him could handle it. He got on the rod and he started pumping on it, and there's actually a couple fish followed it in.
Put DeRay on the rod. It's DeRay's first time probably bringing in a fish like that size and that kind of reel. So he had a tough time. He struggled a little bit. So while he's in the back of the boat messing with that fish, we see a wooden pallet in the water. So I get a stick bait, I cast it on that pallet, and I hook up instantly.
So as far as starting off a day of fishing, you know, it was going right. Everything was connecting.
First one in the boat. It's going to fry up pretty good.
Nothing real impressive, but just to be in the water for 5 minutes and have that kind of action, you know, a lot of times gives you the confidence you need to make a good day of fishing.
All right, man, first thing in the morning, we got up here, pulled up to a rip line about 80 miles offshore. We already got one, got lucky. Took them 2 hours to bring this fish in, that's why it's bigger than this. 4 dolphin in the boat, man. First thing in the morning, we got out here early, got a good crew, a couple nice 10-pounders, probably a 25-pounder. We'll go out here and do it again, man, and keep working this rip line and see what happens.
Jared Jeffries has 2 passions in life. One is basketball, and one is fishing. So take a trip around the world with him as he shows you the best gear, tips, and tricks for fishing the world with artificial lures.
Hey, that's the biggest one yet.
Here we are out on the blue water rip line. Basically, we got here and there's not a lot of current in it, but a lot of grass, and kind of got the baits out, and literally within about 5 minutes we had a nice bull come up. Unfortunately, he didn't go for the teaser, he went for the hook bait, so but we hooked up with him real well, and actually a whole school followed him in, so we put 4 or 5 nice fish in the boat. We're getting back on the rip line, we're marking a lot of fish. You know, I think the current's going to pick up as the day goes, so it ought to just get better, but 5 minutes into it and we got a couple nice fish, so back on it, here we go.
There he is. So many dolphins. Come on, blue marlin. Come eat this dolphin. There he is. There's so many dolphin out here.
Going on.
Out here bailing them. Oh man, there's so many dolphin here right now.
The amount of mahis I saw that first day on the rig, it was, you'd look in the water and there would be 20 to 30 nice sized mahis. At one point, I think 4 or 5 of us were hooked up all at the same time.
There's just so many fish around here.
It was total mahi mayhem, that's for sure. Great times.
All right, so right here, it's a small, like, weighted stick bait. A lot of times for dolphin and tuna, I like using more like stick bait patterns like this. I feel like they work a little bit better. Right now, I'm gonna change down and go to like a single hook. I mean, we're getting so many dolphin right now. That way, it makes it a little bit easier on everybody. These trebles, man, can be so dangerous. And we're so far offshore, there's no sense in getting a guy hooked right now.
It's still early. Rip line's definitely doing real good. A lot of action on it, but still not very much current, so it's a little tricky to fish in the scattered grass. We're going to run out to one of the floaters a couple miles south, see if we can get some tuna. See if the yellowfin are coming up on the surface, or not. Throw the jig at them and see if we can get them. So we're going to roll out.
So we catch 5, 6 dolphin on this rip line and kind of make the call, look, we can do this all day, it's awesome, but we call it, pick up, and run to the rig.
So basically, after we leave the rip line, we decided to get out to the deep water floaters, big semi-submersible floating rigs, you know, obviously out in 3,500, 4,000 feet of water, hold a ton of bait. You know, it's almost kind of like the whole food chain starts there.
These rigs hold these fish. So when these fish come through here, the amount of bait, structure that they have, they'll stay here for a long time. By the time we get to the rig, there's a conversation going if the rig's moving or not. Because the water's going so fast around this rig, we're not real sure if it's just the water going by it or if it's actually moving.
Still a lot of fish on it, but it's just making it real hard to fish. The rig's relocating, so it's moving about 10 knots.
It wasn't moving. Totally wrong. Edit that out unless you want to make fun of me. No, the current was that strong. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was just fooled. But when I looked at it, I was like, there's no way the current could be that strong. Well, but they move a lot. They do? And that happens all the time. You pull up to one and it is moving. So that's not, you know what I mean? That's not like something that doesn't happen. Oh. Get him, Jared.
After catching their fill of dolphin, the guys change lures, hoping it will increase their chances of landing a few yellowfin.
Bonita.
Okay.
Little Skippy.
You want to keep him for bridle?
Yeah, keep them for bait. And we'll use that for bait. They got like a real bloody kind of red meat. It works well. Nice.
On the fall. Skipjack tuna. Ate it on the fall.
Now he's bait.
Now he's bait. Hopefully we can feed him something big and blue.